بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. So in the previous video I talked about the Kharijis, right, in particular. So I just want to give you two examples just to elaborate on the point. Two examples of how the Kharijis used the Quran to call other Muslims kafirs or infidels, right, and then found a justification to kill them, right. So this is again that whole idea that we should not repeat our history. That's the point, right? That's we should understand what happened. So I'm briefly discussing those issues, right? And this is all again connected to self-studying, the implications of self-study, right? So self-study again is okay, but self-study should be done with the guidance of a teacher. So one example is that when Ali radiallahu anh, there was a difference. There were quite a few battles with the Kharijis, and in order to resolve the differences, he formed a committee of a few Sahabis radiallahu anhum to resolve the matter, right? And so the Kharijis, they use the Quran. Right? There is an ayah in Surah Al-Ma'idah that says, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. That whoever does not use the Quran as the mediator, or the Quran as the judge to decide differences between two groups, that person is a kafir, or those people are kafirs, right? So the Kharijis said that since you made a human being as the hakam, you're a kafir, and the Quran says that. And so they call one of the greatest Sahabis, right, one of the greatest pillars of our religion, Amirul Mu'mineen radhiyallahu anh, a kafir, but using the Quran, right? So that's the self-interpretation part. And you know what they used to do? The second example I'm going to give you is they used to use other ayahs to justify, that the Muslims, that particular group of Muslims is kafirs. So another ayah they use is the whole description of when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam, and then he asked the angels to do sajda and the jinns also, but the shaitan did not do the sajda. The description is in the beginning of Surah Baqarah, right? So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Aba wastakbara wa kana min al-kafirin, right? And that he denied doing the sajda and he became arrogant, so he became a kafir, right? So that ayah, they used this ayah, the Kharijis. When I was listening to the tafsir of this ayah from my shaykh, he discussed these matters. And so that is why a shaykh, when you're listening to the tafsir of a shaykh and he does not know history, you're going to miss a big part of understanding the Quran. So the Kharijis said, whoever does not do sajda because the shaitan did not do sajda, they become kafir, right? So if you don't pray, you're a kafir. So they implied that if you do a major sin, a kabir, right, min al kaba'ir, right? If you do a kaba'ir, you're gonna be a kafir, right? And so this is profound. So they used to use these ayahs, ask people about their beliefs, and then if so they believed that. If you lie, you're a kafir. If you do ghiba, backbiting, you're a kafir. If you miss prayers, you're a kafir. And then you should be killed, right? And so on, right? The implications, right? So they killed a lot of Muslims using the Quran. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. The Quran deviates a lot of people also, and it's a guidance for a lot of people also. So these two examples, keep them in mind if you decide. I hope you don't decide to self-study without guidance, but if you do, then there can be strong implications. I'm not going to say that everyone is going to reach these conclusions, but everyone, the Kharijis were a result of political chaos in the Ummah in the beginning, right? But the Mu'tazila, which we'll talk about later, the Mu'tazila are another example of self-study. They had different inclinations. They were inspired by Greek philosophy, so their approach was to consider the intellect as superior to revolution, and then they used to deny anything that goes against intellect. So they were again, another deviant group that we don't follow. The Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah don't follow. So the Sahaba radiallahu anh, they used to read the same ayahs that I recited in front of you, but they never understood this, because they had the understanding from a teacher, Sayyidi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They were taught by our Sayyidi, right? Our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So be careful, okay, and keep these two examples in mind. If you have any questions, you're free to ask, and keep learning and keep smiling. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.